The Flash, number 24, written by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato, art by Francis Manapul. So, last time we had Barry being drained of Speed Force powers by Reverse Flash, and then we got a tie-in issue to Villains Month where we saw that Reverse Flash took Barry back in time to a night where he could kill his own father in order to stop him from being abusive during their childhood. So pick up there where Reverse Flash is essentially killing Iris and Daniel West's father, because of course Daniel West, if you didn't know that by now. And he's really going ham on it. And as he is, basically he succeeds. He kills him, and Flash yells out no. There's like nothing he can do to stop him. Reverse Flash starts beating the ever-living crap out of Flash. He takes young Daniel and throws him across the room when he accidentally gets in the way. And as he is absorbing more and more of Flash's powers, he starts growing more and more monstrous looking, to the point where Iris sees this and calls him out and says, "You're a monster." And seeing young Iris call him out like this gives him that little crisis of conscience where he's like, "Dear Lord, what have I done? I've become a monster. This was all for her and all for both of us." And so Flash stands up and does his talking thing where he's like, "Don't go back in time, man. It's always bad. It never ends up the way you want it to. You just got to roll with the punches. Bad things happen. Deal with it." And so Reverse Flash starts crying, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do." And Flash tells him, "You just got to let go. Let me handle this. I'll fix everything." So he touches Daniel, starts absorbing back his own Speed Force power. We start getting some philosophical thing about like, oh yeah, I started absorbing his negative Speed Force energy and blah blah blah, and it gave me time to think. And he uses the powers to then run back through the time stream and somehow undo what Reverse Flash just did. So now his father never died. None of that stuff ever happened. They just managed to undo it all. And Flash arrives back. Daniel West is no longer the Reverse Flash, or at least it appears not. And Flash has his powers back. And he arrives back in front of Iris. And Flash explains everything that he did. Daniel's like totally exhausted, nothing he can do. And Iris comes up being like, "Daniel, you went back and tried to kill our father? What the hell? Why would you do this? Tell me you're not capable of this." And he's like, "Yep, I was. And I'd do it again. And when I get my powers back, I am going to do it again." And Flash is like, "I don't intend on you ever getting your powers back." So at that point, Dr. Elias stands up and he's like, "Flash, you went back in time. You were reckless. I'm going to take away your powers now." And he holds up like the Speed Force gun. Flash just zooms behind him, elbows him in the face, takes the gun and says, "Nah, screw you. Speed Force is my gift. It's a gift for humanity. It's my responsibility. Stop being a prick, Elias." So the rest of this issue doesn't have a lot of content. It's just a lot of Barry musing on like, look, bad things happen, and putting it behind me, ignoring it, is not something that is conducive towards a healthy lifestyle. I do actually need to face the bad things that happen behind me, but we'll get to that. We see the anniversary party for Patty's parents. Barry does finally show up. And he's like, "Hey, Patty, I took care of the Speed Force killer." And she's like, "I don't care. Just dance with me." So they have a nice little romantic moment. We then see Barry going over to Dr. Elias's lab as he stands there in the ruins. And he's like, "Hey, if you ever try to mess with me again, I'm going to take you out. This is your only warning." And then he zooms out of there. We see Iris visiting Daniel in Iron Heights. And she's like, "Why would you try to kill Dad?" And it's like, "Because he's a prick. He was the worst. He drove us apart." And she's like, "No, you did. We always could have been together. You were the one who was a prick. Bye." And so she leaves. And finally, based off all that stuff I was saying about how he needs to confront his past, way back when he told Patty to basically hide the files about his mother's murder so that he couldn't investigate it anymore. He was leaving it in the past and moving forward. But now he realizes, well, actually, I probably should confront that. That is part of my past I do need to deal with. So he looks around the entire apartment. He figures out where Patty hid it, and he starts investigating his mother's murder again. And so Patty wakes up the next morning. She sees on the news that there is a jet falling out of the sky and someone must move quickly in order to stop it. And she sees the papers on the ground and says, "Oh, Barry, what are you going to do?" And we see Barry saying, "Yep, I run for myself, for her, for everybody, because no matter what, I will always keep trying." And then it's a big old the end here because, to the best of my knowledge, this is Francis Manipul's last issue. Next up, we're getting, I believe, Patrick Zurcher is the regular on the art, but Brian Buccellato will still be the writer. So, I don't know. I feel like Reverse Flash, it was just too easy, you know? Like, it was essentially, it wasn't a matter of outthinking him. It wasn't a matter of pulling some, like running faster than he has before, which I'm not saying is a good ending, but I think the sweet Jesus, I've become my own monster thing is like, it's good. It's a fine enough ending. It just needs to have more time to breathe and get to that point. Because from the point where he really develops into this monstrous form, it's like 3 panels before he's like, "Oh no, I am evil." It's like, yeah, clearly. And the fact that he comes out of it saying, "I did nothing wrong. I would still kill my dad." Like, I don't know. It felt like a bit too easy of an ending for all this buildup we were doing on Reverse Flash. As for the other stuff at the end, it's fine. It just feels like we're kind of moving Barry into a different place, whether that's for the better or for the worst. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just neutral on this issue. I think that it's got some good points to it, but it doesn't quite feel like a punchy enough thing for here is how we wrapped up the Reverse Flash story. So, I don't know. Overall, I think I'd probably just give it like a 6.5. It's just not blowing me away. It's just kind of like, oh yeah. And then they even have a caption in this box where Flash says, "I don't know how I did that. I don't think I'll ever understand the Speed Force entirely." It's like, okay, so it's a cop-out is really what it is. So yeah, 6.5. Disappointing, but not awful.